Hello everyone, I'm Nix and we are back for part 6.
So this is where you live? Yep, the Sarutobi residence, Konamura said without much enthusiasm. Naruto had at least seen most clan compounds in the village. She had spent almost as much time at Ino's home as at her own apartment. Not that it was saying much, she was very much an outdoors kind of girl. And through Ino, she had also been invited a few times to the Akimichi and Naru homes. She had tried to visit the Hyuga before to spend some time with Hinata, but she'd never gotten past the front door. The Sarutobi residence was large and certainly impressive, but it didn't have that aura of "You are not welcome here, outsider, kindly piss off" that the Hyuga had. The gate was wide open, allowing them to just stroll into the front garden. "Honorable grandson," an elderly woman came to greet him. "Are you alright? You were expected back hours ago." Maybe I shouldn't have taken him for ramen before coming here, Naruto thought. "He was with me the whole time." The woman gave her a suspicious look. "I was just trying to help out my little Kohai and new friend." The suspicion only grew. It was annoying, but if the stories Konohamaru told her were anything to go by, people trying to get close to him because of who his grandfather wasn't uncommon. "By all means, ask the Hokage, he'll vouch for me." At least she hoped he would. "Hey, stop looking at Naruko Ne-san like that." Ne-san? Having Konohamaru call her, that made her feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
"It's alright, Konohamaru, they're probably just concerned." She turns towards the woman. "I still have places I need to be, I'll leave immediately." Having Konohamaru speak up in her defense prompted the woman to apologize and welcome her inside, but Naruko really did still have things she wanted to do today, or rather people she wanted to see. She ran until she reached Sakura's home. Her mother opened the door and swiftly called Sakura down to meet her. "Hey Naruko." "Hi Sakura. Could you come with me to Ino's place? There is something I need to tell both of you." "And this couldn't wait until tomorrow?" Naruko had to admit it was getting late. "It's not urgent per se, but it is important." Sakura started to look concerned and told her parents she was going to visit Ino along with Naruko, possibly even staying the night if it became late enough. "Thanks. It's fine, but I am curious what could be so important to come at this hour." On the way to Ino's place, she told Sakura about the day with Konohamaru, and that was the reason she was this late. "I would have come sooner, but he was an earnest kid and I couldn't just brush him off, and I needed a distraction." "You are really starting to worry me with all this build-up. Is what you're about to tell us bad?" "Not bad, or well, maybe? We'll see. I just need to share this or I might just explode." Alright. Ino was surprised to see both of them at her doorstep, but let them in without question, and brought them into her bathroom. "Alright, we're both here now. Now spill," Sakura urged her. Naruko would take a deep breath and tell them everything the third Hokage told her, leaving nothing out. "So that's why some people seem to dislike you for no reason," was all Ino said concerning her being the container for the Nine-Tails. "Including my parents at the start," Sakura would say. To Naruko's immense relief, they seemed more concerned for her than concerned about her. The reaction regarding her parentage was far more pronounced. "Amazing, this makes you some kind of ninja princess, doesn't it?" Ino would start gushing. "Some princess?" Naruko would scoff. "I'm an orphan who lives in a run-down apartment." "Which is just completely unfair. I can't believe they'd let the daughter of the legendary 4th Hokage live like that. You should have your own palace." "Didn't your parents leave you anything?" Sakura would ask. "I know that Minato Namikaze didn't come from any special clan, but I doubt he was poor, after all those S-rank missions during the war." "Well, I certainly haven't received anything. They wanted to keep my parentage a secret, remember?" "But you don't have to keep it a secret anymore though, right?" Ino would ask. "I mean, the Hokage gave you permission to tell whoever you wanted." Naruko would look visibly uncomfortable with that idea. "What's wrong?" "I haven't changed, you know. I'm still the same me as I was yesterday." "You fear people will treat you differently," Ino would guess, "even if that differently is positive." "I just got a good look at what it's like from the other side." And Naruko would tell Ino about her day with Konohamaru. "I don't want that either. Most people seem to be at least okay with me these days. Shouldn't that be enough?" "So you're planning to keep it a secret?" Sakura would ask. "I wouldn't go that far. I'm just, well, not planning to shout it from the rooftops is all. Few people ask me about my parents these days, so yeah, I'm not going to hide it exactly, but neither will I start to introduce myself like, 'Hello, I am Naruko Namikaze, daughter of the legendary 4th Hokage. You may now kiss my sandals.'" That earns her 2 big smiles from Ino and Sakura. It's still not right. The daughter of the 4th Hokage being forced to take care of herself for all these years? Ino would say again. And if I wasn't the daughter of the 4th Hokage, that would somehow make that alright. No, of course not. That's not what I mean. It's just that the 4th Hokage sacrificed everything for the village. Including me, Naruto would interject. He sacrificed everything for the village, Ino would continue unabated. I can't imagine what he must think if he knew that same village treated his only child so poorly. It's a shame to this village is what it is. Naruto didn't argue, though she still felt that who her father was didn't really affect the degree of wrongness her treatment merited. Everyone should be treated with kindness, not just those with good parents. At least I had you guys. Thanks to you I haven't been alone for a long time. And as she had said to Konohamaru, both of her friends acted all embarrassed at her mushy words. Come here, you two. And she forcibly pulled both Ino and Sakura into a tight hug. Alright, we love you too, now let us go. And she did. You know, the more I think about it, the more all of this makes sense, Sakura would say. You do resemble the 4th a lot, and it also explains why you are so good at everything. The two of you had much more to do with that than my dead parents. I am not trying to say we didn't help you get started, but you can't deny you are insanely talented. You're almost as much of a genius as Sasuke-kun. That would prompt Ino to speak up. Oh, can you imagine if Naruto had decided to just reveal her lineage to everyone? We wouldn't have stood a chance. Sasuke-kun and the lost ninja princess. The perfect couple. I was never lost, Naruto would protest feebly and be promptly ignored. Oh my gosh, you're right. Sakura's eyes would glint in amusement. Naruto, you absolutely must not reveal who you are to anyone before the battle for Sasuke-kun's heart is decided. Well, it's not like I need that advantage, Naruto said with a hint of smugness. We know he respects me the most out of any of our classmates. I'm the only one that can give him a decent challenge. Yeah, but that might end up blowing up in your face this time, Ino said. Genin teams are supposed to be balanced. There is no way they will put Sasuke-kun and Naruto Hime on the same team. That would be completely unfair. Maybe, but it's not like that will mean I will give up on my best sparring partner. We'll still be in the same village. And do you think there is a chance that they will put the 3 of us on one team? They'd know we'll work well together. I've never heard of an old Kunoichi Genin team, but there's no rule against it either, Sakura would say. That wouldn't be so bad. Though I hope you'll forgive me for saying that I'm still hoping to get on Sasuke-kun's team. The trio would continue to speculate on whom their future teammates will be well into the night, causing Sakura and Ino to spend the night in Ino's room. Though this time Ino insisted that Naruto take her bed while she slept on an extra mattress on the ground. Nothing but the best for the Princess of Konoha, she'd say. Naruto would point out that the title of Hokage wasn't a hereditary feudal title, and so she wasn't actually a princess, but neither Ino nor Sakura seemed to care about that little detail. Naruto would be more bothered by their fussing if it wasn't obvious they were just having fun by hosting a supposed princess. The next morning, they'd go to school together, and now finally, we get to the team placements. As mentioned by Ino just now, and by Iruka in the anime, the teams are supposed to be balanced, with good students compensating for the bad students. So to figure out who ends up where, we need to find out the class rankings for the Rookie 9, both for the canon and for this little fanfic story. I'm intentionally ignoring any other student in that class that wasn't named in the anime, because I want to keep any original characters to a minimum. So there are a couple of the 9 for whom the ranking is obvious, while for most we need to speculate a little. First, the obvious. Sasuke Uchiha is Rookie of the Year. This is stated very clearly in the show. Next, the original Uzumaki Naruto. He had the lowest score of the 9. Also very clear. For our first bit of speculation, I will say that Sakura was dead in the middle, so they had a team of the best, the worst, and the totally average. The next one is also a character for whom the score requires the least amount of speculation. Shikamaru Nara at the number 8. Yes, Shikamaru is the smartest out of all the rookies, but it is also stated in the show that his scores were comparable to Naruto's. He did the absolute minimal amount of work needed to pass, so he gets the number 8 spot. Next, we have Ino Yamanaka at the second best spot. That might be the most eyebrow-raising choice on the list, since she doesn't actually do a whole lot in the show to merit such a high ranking. My reasoning is that the teams are supposed to be balanced. If Team 7 had to balance out the best with the worst, then Team 10 had to balance out the second worst with the second best. Between Choji and Ino, I suspect that Ino is the most likely candidate for that spot. And we do learn from Asuma that she was a standout kunoichi in her year, well above her peers. I know that Asuma is hardly an impartial source of information, but it's all I have to go on. Next, we have Kiba Inuzuka at the number 7 spot. The reason I give him this low score is that I read on a forum that he once was seen taking a remedial course in the academy along with Naruto. They were trying to split a leaf with chakra, though I will be honest, I myself don't recall that scene. There is also mention of a scene where his mother chastises him for not training more. Finally, it is also mentioned that he is one of those students that tends to skip class. Again, if Team 8 had the third worst student, then someone on Team 8 had to be the third best student. That has to be either Shino or Hinata, and I just see Shino as the more competent of the two. He just radiates composure and competence, you know? The only spots remaining are the number 6 and the number 4, to be given to Choji and Hinata. I'm going to put Choji at the number 6, because I suspect Shikamaru might be a bad influence on him, at least concerning a work ethic. This leaves Hinata at the number 4 spot. She may not excel like her clan wanted her to, but I at least picture her as a dutiful student. I find this number believable for her. This left the original composition looking like this. Kakashi having the number 1, 9 and 5, Kurenai having the numbers 3, 4 and 7, while Asuma had the numbers 2, 6 and 8. Keep your eye on those numbers, for they will remain the same, only the people assigned to those numbers are about to change. Now we add Naruto to the mix, who is about to steal Ino's number 2 spot. When she gets that number, and the original Naruto disappears, everyone except for Sasuke will be pushed down one number. Behold the new rankings. With Sasuke at number 1, Naruto at number 2, Ino at number 3, Shino at number 4, Hinata at number 5, Sakura at number 6, Choji at number 7, Kiba at number 8, and Shikamaru now holding the position of dead last. Now we fill in those names with the team assignments from before, and we get the following. Kakashi Hatake with a team comprising of Sasuke Uchiha, Shikamaru Nara, and Hinata Hyuga. Kurenai Yui with a team of Ino Yamanaka, Shino Aburame, and Choji Akemichi. And finally, Asuma Saretobi with a team comprising of Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, and Kiba Inuzuka. I'll briefly go over everyone's reactions. Sasuke simply doesn't care, he just wants to focus on his own development and skills so he can become strong enough to kill his brother. Shikamaru's upset because he doesn't end up with a team with Choji. He had counted on whoever was making the teams wanting to recreate the team of Ino Chikacho. It seems he was wrong. He didn't particularly care for Sasuke, but Hinata was at least quiet. Out of all the girls in their class, she was the least troublesome solely for that reason. Speaking of Hinata, she is also disappointed on not being on a team with her idol Naruto. Sakura wasn't Naruto's team, so a team with 2 Kunoichis wasn't out of the question. Sasuke kind of intimidated her, and she could really do without all the jealous glares from her fellow Kunoichi. She doesn't know Shikamaru at all. Ino would be extremely unhappy with this team, even more so than in the original canon. The bug guy and the fat guy. She didn't get to be on a team with Sasuke, her 2 best friends get to be on a team with each other, and did she mention the bug guy? He's just creepy. Shino? Maker only knows what he thinks. Choji, just like Shikamaru, is upset about being separated from his best mate. Beyond that, he has no problem with his teammates. Choji is too nice to have a problem with anyone, so long as they don't call him fat. Naruto is pleased with her team. Ino's arguments from the night before had convinced her that being on a team with Sasuke was unlikely in any event. At least she gets to be on a team with one of her friends. She doesn't know Kiba all that well, but whatever interaction she'd had with him was always friendly, and Akamaru was simply adorable. She does feel concerned about Ino though, and resolves to make sure Ino knows that they don't intend to leave her behind. What she does regret is not having Kakashi Hatake as her Jonin sensei. She has some questions for him, and being a student under him would have given her plenty of opportunities to ask them. Sakura's opinion mostly mirrors Naruto's, except she really is disappointed about not being on a team with Sasuke. Kiba doesn't really mind being on a team with 2 Kunoichis. He has an older sister and a badass Kunoichi mother and knows better than to underestimate them. Naruto is also kinda badass for a girl anyway, and he does like the thought of being on a team with her. The last person whose reaction I want to talk about is Kakashi's, who cannot decide whether he is relieved or disappointed that his old sensei's daughter isn't on his team. He has been warned Naruto now knows who her father is, and that he was once a student of said father. He'd have liked the teacher, to return the debt he feels to Minato, and make sure Naruto reaches her potential. But he also really doesn't like talking or thinking about the past. Having an emotional girl demanding stories about his dead sensei frightened him more than any S-rank mission ever could. And that's where we're going to leave things for now. As an aside, I will only sporadically be using Japanese isms like the kun, chan, hime pronouns. Whenever I feel like it, basically. Nikes out.